kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I am greeted by one of my friends and we are going to be discussing the classic film Casablanca. So, Aiden, would you like to start things off for us, please?
I would. Casablanca, great film, early 40s film. I'd say it's really ahead of its time, especially movies to compare, probably only to The Wizard of Oz, that it would probably rival in how far ahead it was in many different ways. You had an excellent cast with Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, and it was just a really great movie for its time. Being a 40s movie, it was just really well done. This movie got a lot of people their starts, especially Humphrey Bogart. He had played in a lot of 30s gang movies as the one of the main bad guys, but this was a new leading role for him, being more of the strong, masculine character that all the men wanted to be and all the women wanted to be with. Was kind of the role that he was going for, and he absolutely nailed it, and it really kicked off his career into being the main star in all kinds of movies. Throughout the mid-40s was really his height, especially post-war with the movies he had with Lauren Bacall was really his pinnacle of his acting career. The movie itself had a lot of very interesting parts, a lot of really great scenes. The ways that Rick, played by Bogart, and Captain Renault interacted was really great on-screen chemistry. The way that Bogart and Bergman played as the two leads also did well, and the cast overall just did really great. And the movie itself was, a lot of it was improvised, where a lot of the days they just went on set and just kind of improvised sometimes. The "Here's looking at you, kid," which was a very famous line of the movie. Humphrey Bogart just said that randomly one day while they were shooting, and they just went with it. And besides that, had some very powerful, emotional scenes, especially when they sang La Massiere in the bar, where Rick and Victor Laszlo come downstairs and see the German soldiers playing Sam's piano, singing German national music or whatever, and Laszlo had enough of that, went over to the band and told them to play, and you saw the whole bar get up and sing that French anthem and put those Germans down, saying that the Germans may have occupied France and French colonies, but they did not influence the people, and the people were still resilient. The French government may have surrendered, but the people were still strong, and that was the message they tried to get out, and they absolutely nailed it. I thought that was one of the most inspirational scenes in movies in movie history.
Okay, and now it's time for my thoughts. I don't have quite as much to say about Casablanca as a friend here, but I do have some stuff to say. Typically, I do not really care for the classic films, like Citizen Kane or The Wizard of Oz, but this movie caught me by surprise. It was still a classic film. It was still like old and all that, so I still didn't like get as much of like enjoyment out of it, but I still really liked it. It's the best classic film I have seen, other than The Wizard of Oz, because that was just really out there. It was the first like color film, and that movie was really good. But Casablanca was also really, really good classic film in my opinion. A lot of like the specific details of the film I have forgotten because it has been a while since I've seen it last. But I know in the film, out of like all of the scenes in the movie, the only one that like really got to me was probably the ending scene. That's like the one scene that I still remember. It was like the scene where they were like bringing the guy back to like America, and they were going onto the plane. I forget like maybe like the dialogue, but that whatever, like that scene was probably the scene that stuck with me the most. And that scene, yeah, it was the start of a beautiful friendship between the two. They like walked into the fog, like I get the ending. I really liked that. That was a nice touch. Okay, so now the two of us are gonna rate Casablanca with our personal opinions out of 10. So me personally, I really enjoyed Casablanca, and it is like one of the very few classic black and white films I actually enjoy. So putting it all into perspective, I can't give it any more than this, but I will say it's a 7. I liked it, but at the end of the day, it's still a classic film, and it's not the film I typically enjoy, but I'll give it that benefit of the doubt because I can see that it's a really thought out and excellent film. Okay, and now here's my friend's ranking. You want to go ahead?
For Casablanca, I will give it a little bit higher. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 just because of the really quality film that it was, the very emotional scenes it had, the very iconic lines, the great chemistry between the actors, and just being a really great movie because I had seen a lot of classic films. Some of them were great, like The Wizard of Oz. Some of them, like Citizen Kane, I couldn't imagine how they could sit in theaters and pay money for that. But just a phenomenal film, great actors. All the actors in that movie went on to have very high careers after that. Some were longer than others, but it was a great film, still talked about today. And for a film that's 80 years old, it's still played in some theaters on special occasions, which I thought was very interesting to learn. And yeah, for movies, I'm pretty tough on them. You know, I actually have never given a movie a 10 out of 10. Nothing's really got me that much where I just got to bow down. But this was surely one of the best, and it really speaks of a high rating because it's so old and isn't able to compare to standards of today, even though it's definitely on the same level.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening, and I will be back sometime soon to review my fourth and final review on Sonic 2, which I'm just going to say, I'm not going to spoil anything now, but I'm just going to say it was a really good movie. So I'll see you guys when I do that. Thank you for tuning in. See you then. Bye.